Hello everyone, Gail Woodard here from Dudley Court Press with another tip for writers. Today I want to talk to you about, if you're writing fiction, the issue about how much to write before you start to market. Now, I know how great it is when you're finishing up your first book to type in the end at the end. It feels so good to reach that point. But in today's world, you know that writing the end as the writer is only the beginning of your career as a successful author. And in order to make that career happen, you actually have to have more product. I'm going to tell you why. Excuse me. Today, in the publishing world, it's really important for you to, if you're a writer, to recognize that you need to be a marketer as well as a writer. I know a lot of writers don't want to hear that. They fight the whole idea, lots of resistance, but I'm here to tell you, you just got to suck it up and become a marketer. The good news is, if you're writing fiction, the news I'm going to share with you is that if you've finished your first book, I'm going to suggest to you that you are better off to continue writing for a while than to start marketing quite yet. And here's why. You want to have your second book ready for your readers before you start going out to find those readers. You may not understand this yet or have done the calculations, but it is going to cost you time and energy and money to find readers. It's just part of what you have to do today to be a successful author. So, excuse me, sorry about the frog in my throat. You know what happens when you read a book that you like. Most people do this. You read particularly fiction, you finish the book, you turn to the end, and you say, wow, that was great. I wonder what else that person has written. And you go looking to find another book by that author. If you don't find anything, you're disappointed and you move on to another author. So you, as the author, are in a much better position economically and to become successful if you have a string of books for this person who's found one of your books. They found one of 2 or 3 or 5 books that you've written. And they like you and they say, oh, wow, look at this. There's another one. I'm going to buy it right now and start reading it because I really like that first one. And if you have 3 books or 4 books, they become a big fan if they like your work, and they can because you've given them a lot to enjoy. So you have to take the long view as a writer today. I'm so sorry about this. Your books are essentially products. And by the way, little side note here, you have to make sure you've got a good product. So invest the time and energy and money to make your products good, strong material that people will like. Because the marketing investment that you have to make won't pay back if your material isn't good. So be conscious about writing well, getting a good editor to help you out, making sure you've got great design, great production values in the product, the book that you're creating. Then you start to invest in the marketing. And yes, you start earlier, you start to build buzz, you start to develop contacts, all of that. And there are a million ways to market your books. I'm not going to talk about how to do it today. But what I am going to ask you to do is think about the impact on your life of the time you have to spend, the energy, the creative energy you have to spend as a marketer, and the money that you're going to need to spend to get your, let's say, your first 1,000 readers. So you do all of this work, you get 1,000 readers to buy your book. And of course, you're expecting that they're going to like it, then they're going to tell their friends, they're going to leave reviews and build more. But let's just focus on those first 1,000 readers that you are targeting. It's going to cost you some amount of time and energy and money to get those readers. If you have only one book for them, then let's just say it costs $10,000 for you to get those first 1,000 readers. I'm just throwing out numbers here. There's no connection to reality. Let's say, though, it's It's $10,000 in time, energy, and money for you to get those first 1,000 readers. That's $10 per reader, right? Now, if you have 2 books lined up for them, instead of, and they buy both books, which they're likely to do if they like your work. So now it's only costing you $5,000 per book that you've created to get those readers, because they're going to read both books. And if you have 3 or 4 or 5, you can amortize your cost of getting those readers over all of those books. So per book, the cost of marketing is much lower, which means your profits are much higher, because if they buy 2 $20 books or 2 $10 books, whatever your pricing is, two $3.99 ebooks from you, that's better than 1. It's doubling the income that you get for the effort you've put out to find that reader. So I want you to think about that. It's a different way for a lot of fiction writers to think, but it does give you the opportunity to write more, maybe not put your marketing hat on quite yet. Focus on quality, have a long-term strategy. And if you want more help, come and visit us at Dudley Court Press. We're at dudleycourtpress.com. Love to talk to you anytime about what you're doing. Good luck and see you next time.